Hello, my name is Lucas Gallagher, and I offer for your viewing pleasure a presentation on threat hunting within the business. Now, this term, threat hunting, may be unfamiliar to some, so I'm going to take a few moments here at the start to describe what it is and why it is necessary in an enterprise business. So this, of course, is a simplified version of a business network. In an enterprise, you'd have many, many more devices, printers, all those sort of things. For our purposes, this will be sufficient to demonstrate what threat hunting is and why it's necessary. There is one thing missing from this picture. There he is, our adversary. So there are a lot of, it's fair to say, criminals out there on the internet who are trying to find anything they can. They're looking for social security numbers, they're looking for credit card numbers, they're looking for confidential and sensitive data that they can use. Really, anytime they can get to the golden goose, which is the server in the lower left corner there, they have accomplished their goal. So, of course, it quickly became obvious that something needed to be placed on the perimeter, so that border right between the internet and the router. So firewalls were implemented, and yep, they did their job. They were stopping a lot of the attacks coming from the outside. Many companies actually, even today, this is as far as they've gone. The threat has changed. Now hackers have a much more advanced techniques, and one of their favorites is social engineering, using the habits of employees against the company. One of the classic examples is a malicious email. Now, this firewall is configured by its very nature to allow certain things into the network. One of those things is email, because email is needed just to do your day-to-day business. So the hacker is going to use that and send that email to someone at HR. HR will open that email, boom, compromise. Often it's because of an attachment, sometimes it's because of some exploit inside whatever application is being used to view the email. The goal here is to have the computer of the person who opened that email call back from inside the network back to the internet. The way most firewalls are configured, they will block things that they don't understand or don't know about coming from outside in. But anything coming from the inside and going out, it'll assume, oh, that's good traffic. The other thing about this is it allows for two-way communications. When you attempt to view a website, say google.com, your browser will send a request from inside the network to the internet. Firewall sees that. The server on the internet that's hosting google.com will reply with all that data back to your computer. Firewall sees that too. Because it is a reply, it again assumes, oh, this is something that someone on the inside of the network wanted, something that I should pass through. So that's what allows the hacker then to get control of a computer on the inside. So long as the computer on the inside is the one initiating the connection, it can be used. For example, get to that server. Now, and the hacker can't see the network. He doesn't know that the server is located here or the printer is located here. He's kind of blind because the firewall is blocking his ability to get visibility. What that means is he often will use that program to stay inside the network for sometimes even months as he snoops around, tries to find where's the most damaging information, what can he use to turn to his advantage, what can he use to turn to cache. So this is the new model we're up against. Attackers are now persistent. They are using mechanisms and software to stay inside the network. Even if a computer gets rebooted, that computer will immediately call right back out and get that connection started again so the hacker can remain inside. That means we need a new model, a new way of dealing with this. And threat hunting is that model. Threat hunting isn't a software. It's not a piece of hardware. It's actually just a new way of doing things quite often that will work with existing software, existing hardware. It's just a different way of using them. Now, to that end, we have a model, a sort of a flow that we follow. In the center there is the alert. You found something that's just like, this is unusual. Let's investigate. The level 1 investigation is you, as your generic credentials, just a user, you're going to look up the logs in your system, the logs on some of the servers you have access to, things of that nature. It's just a, what is this? Can I explain this? Is this just a misconfigured service somewhere, or is this something that is actually an indicator of a larger problem? If you cannot explain the issue, Or if it is an indicator, you begin to believe it's an indicator of a larger problem, it's time to move to level 2. You would use a higher level of credentials. The threat analyst, the person doing the threat hunting, should have an account with administrative privileges that they don't use on a regular basis. Level 2 is where they would then use those credentials. That requires documenting. And a level 2 investigation is appropriate for documentation. It's something that is notable enough that we need to address it. Once you've gathered information, if you've gotten context around what's going on, you'd move into the assess phase. You would assess what it is going on and make a determination. Is this something that is worthy of escalation? Escalation, you are bringing this to the attention of the company as a whole, that, hey, I think someone might have logged into our credit card servers, or hey, I think someone is trying to get access to this secure system. From there, it moves into respond. How do you address it? How do you isolate that system? What is it that happened? How can you prevent it from happening again? The last phase then is resolution. You've resolved the issue, you've closed the documentation. If it was something that was benign that you skipped to resolution from the assess step, you'd want to tune your logs so this doesn't come up as an alert again. So in conclusion, threat hunting is something that every company with an existing security team and existing security tools can do. It's not going to add a lot of strain or additional burden to your resources. At the same time, it delivers a lot of value, and it addresses the threats of today in an active way instead of in the passive way that threats were addressed in the past.